What's up, traders? Thanks for checking out Options Premium Daily. I'm your host, John, and today we are looking at Monday market updates. This is the Monday of holiday week, Monday before Thanksgiving. So we got a shortened week here, but there is nonetheless a lot to look at and to look forward to. As always, make sure you guys are out there being safe, managing your risk, and be safe these holidays too with everything that is going on. Can't wait for 2020 to be over. But we're going to take a peek here at a couple things. Tesla and Palantir are moving up, so let's see where those are going to go. I'm going to show you the charts and then also where we are sitting in the account and then what the next steps are moving forward. So without further ado, let's hop into the platform and we'll take a peek, see what we got going on. Now we are in the platform looking at some charts. We got SPY up, so we're looking at the SPYs. S&P 500, not a lot of movement actually. You'll see here today we are just up $1.32, nothing crazy, really light movement, and the volume's quite low. Now, what I find interesting, as we've been saying, we've had basically fresh highs and then a massive drop. Very big volume you can see here on 11.9. And we have yet to overcome that. Every time we've approached, we've had reversals. Even with what kind of looks like pretty good bars, I would have loved to see a follow through to the upside here. Like 3 really big days with, average to decent volume. We did not get that. However, we've tested back lower, and now we're in the middle of kind of indecision, you can see. So that's something to consider here. Now, as we are looking at our platform and positions, let's check it out here. We've got Palantir looking great. Palantir has now, for some people, doubled. We've now hit $20.17, and there's a couple of things we might need to consider with Palantir. Possible natural price level resistance at $20. That is something to always look at. We've basically hit 20 and started to drop a bit after it. So what we're seeing there is you tend to get at these like even numbers like 10, 20, 30, $100 levels. The stocks usually might see some resistance or maybe some selling. That might be a target price point for some people. It's just something we want to contend with. Now, as we go into the charts for this one, you're going to see a couple things. I have a past video where we looked at a channel to see what we can expect next for Palantir. But what I'm seeing as we move higher, is great. If you are a holder in this stock, you're looking pretty good so far. Now the question is, I think as we look at some drawings, let me set some trend lines for you. Let's go here and here, and I'll extend that to the right. I'm going to right click or double tap if you have a Mac, and let's extend that to the right. Now you'll see we're getting pretty close to that upper trend line resistance. So that is something I'm watching. I'm definitely looking at this because my plan with my trade is that I've got an in the money leap. So basically I bought a call at $12.50 and pretty good. I'm well in the money, which is great. What I can do now though is I'm going to pretend this is synthetic, like I'm holding stock, and I'm actually going to sell covered calls against that. So my plan is to probably look at a certain price level above 20 to sell a call. And all that says is like, hey, if I'm selling it at like $21, $22, I'm going to make a bet that we do not go above $22 before expiration date, depending on the call that I pick up. So I'll give updates as we go along, but I do like that fact that, if I extrapolate this out, it looks like this trend line takes us maybe throughout the week to like 21, 21.50. I don't, no one knows where the price is ever going to go, but all we can do is kind of chart and see where we're looking at. Now, if you're someone looking to get into Palantir, here's what you might want to look at here is, let me go to like maybe a price level, and we're looking perhaps for a pullback, right? So where I think we're going to see potential pullbacks to would be here, if there is anything, at the $17 level. or the $16 level. So you can see here, I'll just set that. This is a nice natural spot for support, but really we have a lot stronger support here at this 16-ish dollar level, like 15.90 to 16. So these would be kind of the areas you may want to be considering. Certainly if I see a pullback, that is where I'm going to be looking to enter a trade to the long, or to the upside basically. So keep that in mind. Now let's look at Tesla. Tesla is a darling right now. It's been looking good, as everyone knows. Tesla got into the S&P 500, or they are included and set to be in December 21. There is a lot to contend with between now and basically the end of the year. Now, people have gotten to the point where they're asking, will we hit 600 by year end in Tesla? I feel okay about that. But again, you always need to play everything in probabilities. So in terms of weighting, if we were saying 50-50 shot always, I now weight this more to the upside of us maybe getting to that price level. Let's say 65 to 70%, who knows. I do think what we'll see is more good news coming out of Tesla, basically with perhaps Gigafactory Berlin or Texas, maybe even China. So as you start looking at these, like, what chances do we have of better and better news coming in? And the more factories they have, the more they're executing, it just increases those odds that you're going to get better news, better efficiencies. I mean, it's great from someone who's not really into fundamentals, but you can just see kind of plain as day, what their execution is looking like. So as we're in the platform here, you can see with Tesla, we're looking good on our call debit spreads. I'm actually looking to probably take profits here. I do have shares across various accounts as a disclosure here, and I am very bullish on Tesla, so let's keep that in mind. But what I'm seeing is that I'm probably at a point where I've captured most of the value in this trade, so I would like to take it off, and I am also naturally thinking that the charts show possible pullback. Now, I'm saying possible because this is a very unprecedented time for Tesla. Basically, the float is kind of low. That means there's very little shares available, and all these funds that are tracking the S&P 500 have to buy them, right? Now, if they want to be a S&P 500 tracking fund, you don't have a choice. And what that means is basically you're going to see a lot of demand for the shares. Now, naturally speaking, that probably means long term it has to go up, right? I mean, if you're just playing probabilities, you need to be on the higher side of that just based on this alone. Now, always there could be certain catalysts that might drop that price. Who knows? They could have bad news. They could find out is a huge fraud. There's a million ways to play this. But if you are someone who is just looking at what you see, you can see their product on the road, you can see their product roadmap, which are things that are going to be coming online in the future. I mean, I that's where I'm at. That's why I am bullish here. Now, as we're looking at the chart, I think a natural level I want to see here in the platform is let's go back here to drawings. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to hit price level. And I am thinking if we see a pullback, I'm looking to basically re-enter here at around this 505 level. It's like 505, 507, give or take. So that is what we're seeing. But right now we have a breakout. It's kind of fresh and early. It could continue. Who knows? If you are someone who is holding shares, you got to hodl. You got to hold on to that. I think we see big movement, not only in the short term, basically between now and year end, but next year and the year after seem pretty solid. So depending on your time frame, pretty quality there. Okay, now let's check out what I'm thinking here. If you are someone who's wanting to buy, but you think it could take off, you need to understand that you're kind of, I guess, coin flipping at this point. You need to understand what risks you're willing to take. And you need to say to yourself, hey, if I buy this now and it drops back to 500, am I happy with that? Or think of the flip side. If you were to buy at, or wait, I guess, for it to drop, but it never does, how would you feel there. So I think that's always an interesting thing, and that's very individual for people. They need to understand what makes sense for them and their risks. And that also ties into the fact that these are for educational purposes only. So these are the trades I'm looking at. This is what I'm eyeballing. I'll give you updates as we move along and what I'm thinking with Tesla, Palantir, and I got a few other charts that look very interesting to me this week. And we'll have that on a separate video, so this isn't too long for you. So without further ado, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Thank you, and we'll see you later on tomorrow. Bye-bye.